a great party for going fast in chaos. And our runners are off. So we're going to be checking black magic spells. We'll see if any of our runners actually check white magic. Warp and Ice 3, those are some great spells. I mentioned before, Dengwu is co-commentating with me tonight. It's his first run, so everybody give him some cheers, and hopefully we'll have a great. Dengwu, what would you be hoping to see from either some of our incentive items or some of our chests?
I mean, an early crown is amazing. An early crown allows you to get 4 key items, which gives you about an 80% increase in experience. Can't argue with that, plus increases your gold. If you can also get an early masa, that helps out with your grinding. A power bonk is always nice to see for if you need it for later on, but not nearly as important in my opinion. I mean, it's nice to have, but I'd rather have the masa, to be completely honest. At least then I know I can kill enemies to grind. I feel that's very important.
Alright, so we got Tyrannex already through Garland and talked to the Princess and King. We did get the crown from Sarah, so we are going to have a lot of key items available to us. Tyrannex doing a really quick check just to see what fiends are there. And we see Tiamat 2 is on the left side. I think he meant to save before he checked that out, but now we know. Wigglypuff gets a real quick pirate's kill and is moving on. Or checking spells, I'm not sure. Oh, he hasn't killed the pirates yet, he just hadn't saved. There we go. So, Ice 3 is going to take these pirates out real quick, get him to level 7. And we'll see what the pirates have for us. Alright, so the pirates have the ship, Fields Vanilla. And we'll check what Provoca shops have for us. Looks like level 2, we've got Invis 2 available for knights if we can find the tail. As far as black magic goes, level 2 Nuke, level 2 Brack. So definitely some great options for early spells for clearing.
Yeah, one of the hardest hitting, or it is the hardest hitting spell in the game. Can't argue with that, with very little natural resist, or there is no natural resists. Can't argue with that.
And hey, Silverfire raiding with a party of 2. Thank you guys for coming over and hanging out. We are just getting started with the second heat of the Chaos Rush tournament. This is race 1 of 3 for tonight. And we saw some really good equipment available for the night here in Provoca. We saw the Vorpal in the weapon shop, Dragon Armor and Aegis Shield available in the armor shop. So if we can get some money and get that tail, there's some really good equipment waiting for us. So Wigglypuff is getting started on the crown quest. Gonna talk to the kindly old king who was really Astos all along, and everybody is surprised. Gonna get himself a couple of key items along the way, and we'll see if he can find something good from that Mystic Key.
And it really helps to have that early spells against Astos too, because if you don't have those levels, he can be a real pain to kill.
Yeah, it's nice that in Chaos Rush we get a lot of levels really quickly, and if you can, get something like Quad X or Ice 3 or Nuke to be able to take out Astos, he's worth a very good amount of experience points for the early game. And with the experience amount of multipliers that we've got going for both key items and the base experience on the seed, it's a lot of experience points. Pro Rings buyable in Crescent Lake for only 900. That's really cheap and really good news for our round. Also, black shirts. So if we don't see some ribbons, we can get some nice resists for black wizards if we get the tail.
And the clerk, they must have forgot to add a couple zeros to that thing, because that's really nice. Adds, was it 8 absorb, and it prevents instant death. Can't argue with that for less than 1,000 gold.
Absolutely, and any class can equip it, so really good equipment. We've got our first look at Elfland, and Black Magic didn't have a whole lot for us at level 3. Let's check level 4. Fire 3, Lit 3, Quake, and Fast, so definitely some good options available for level 4.
Yeah, I think Fast is one of the more important spells, especially with the Knight, since they don't get as many hits compared to the Black Belt. You got to be able to make use, or you want to get as much damage if you can on them as possible. And Sarda comes out with the Masamune, or the Masamune.
Yeah, so with the Masamune, we've got Nuke, we've got Fast. About the only thing we really need now is hopefully the tail, and then we can buy some good armor at Provoca, and really all we need at that point is levels. And we might have a Fast seat on our...
Tyrannix looks like he's doing the key chain right now. Just killed Astos, so he's going to get the 4 free key items and experience grinds. And he found Peds, looks like. Only 1, but... And with a loose rod over on the Grigglypuff side. Can't argue with an extra 20% experience.
Yeah, every little bit that you get is going to really add up, so... That 20% experience, we get, 5 or 6 key items, that's all of a sudden 100 to 120% experience points, and we're suddenly earning thousands of EXP per battle. So, Grigglypuff's going to give us our first look at the key lock chests in Northwest Castle. Picks up a little bit of gold and a cabin, and we're going to check some trap.
Looks like in the Hall of Giants, the first encounter is the Medusas and the Tigers. Or I'm sorry, Nightmares and Evil Men. I was looking at the Grigglypuffs. He's the one doing the Medusas and the Sabertooths.
What sort of gear do we have? Well, we found the Masamune available from Sarda, and we have, if we can get the tail, we've got Dragon Armor and Aegis Shield viable at Provoca, as well as Pro Rings at Crescent Lake, so we certainly have some good equipment available. Am I right thinking that the tail has to be at an incentive location? It should be at an incentive location. Sometimes the ship showing up at an incentive location can push a key item out, and we did see the ship from the pirates. So it is, at that point, we know that one item that is in the incentive pool will be pushed out into random chests. So it is possible that the tail could be in a random loose box as opposed to at an incentive location.
And we've got a Greggly and Solaris already doing their grinds right now. Greggly's at about level 18. He just got 19, 20. So he's 20 all around, and Solaris is just ahead of him. I believe he's at 23, 24 right now with all his characters.
Yep, mid-20s is a really good point to get to. That's going to be the 5th hit for your Masamune. I'm curious, after last night having a bunch of very difficult seeds, if we're going to see runners trying to push higher on levels, or if they're going to stick to more of the formula of Chaos Rush and just get to mid-20s to 30 and then do a Topher Dive. We'll see how that plays into our runners.
Especially if they watched last night's races. they might be a little more willing to go on the higher level side, based on what we saw last night.
Yeah, definitely. Apologies that the timer isn't running. We are at about the 10-minute mark right now, as far as the seed goes. Defense in the dwarf keylock chest, so castable ruse is going to be a very nice option available for our runners potentially. Got Gregory Puff checking out level 5 magic and is rewarded with temper for his efforts. Quadex could be good, but we'd have to get the tail.
Tyrannix has found the Cerebus over in Earth 1, where the Earth Elementals usually spawn to the north, in that locked trap tile. Or not locked, but in the trap tile. Those are a decent amount of experience, and they seem to be pretty easy to kill, so you can't argue with that.
One Fine Day asking if anything on white magic was good. We saw it in Viz 2 at level 2, but other than that, we haven't seen any particularly good white magic. Alright, so it looks like Tyrannix is settling in on these Cerebri. Pretty happy with this fight. Slayer Strix sticking with the Nightmare and Evilmen fight. So definitely both very good options. And Neon Gray is going to check the trap tiles in Temple of Fiends. Find some zombie Ds. This is a really nice information for Neon Gray. That means that they're going to be able to do a grind at Topher if they need to get more levels. So that's something you really hope to see sometime.
Yeah, that was a lot of experience, but they seem to be a little beefy, though. I think they got about 400 and change in health, so unfortunately it's not going to be one nuke killing them.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a downside, but that's it could potentially save quite a bit of time when trying to grind levels at Topher, like when you're ready for your dive. So if we don't have the ability to kill the Topher fiends, then we'll be able to do a quick grind without having to go very far to get those extra levels.
Poor Neon had to leave Temple of Fiends, unfortunately, because his Black Mage died. I'm surprised he didn't actually try and dive down to check out the treasure chests in Temple of Fiends Revisited, since they're free chests and he has to warp out.
Yep, that's okay though. Gonna check a couple of other trap tiles. Looks like Neon was not quite satisfied with the zombie Ds just yet, so gonna check some other options. Gregory Puff finds the Sharknado trap tile, the up to 2 Gersharks and up to 6 Wizzahag in Volcano, and this is another really good option for experience points. So lots of good options for our runners. Tyrannix now actually diving Topher, gonna give us our first real look. Knows the Tiamat 2 is on the left side, so going to take out Lich 2, and a single round, fast and Mazaswing, and Lich 2 is no more.
That was definitely a very good return order right there. Fast went off first, the fighter was able to get all of his hits in at once, and Lich once again proves that he is, well, not worthy of being a fiend.
Alright, so Kraken 2 is behind Lich, so we now know that right side is Lich 2, Kraken 2, and left side is Tiamat 2 and Carry 2, and it looks like Kraken didn't have too many hit points, so Tyrannix is already going to give us our first look at the final boss.
Being able to kill Kraken in 2 rounds. Can't argue with that at all. That is really nice to see, especially with him being in the lead like this, at least being in Topher. Oh, and it's Garland and Chaos, the Peekaboo Chaos.
Yeah, this is actually really good news. This could be a very, very fast finish for Tyrannix right here. So Quick Nuke is taking out all the Garlands, and we're down to just Chaos. He's got the white shirt, he's got fast, so depending upon what Chaos's spell and skill list looks like, this could be...
Now, for the ones that haven't actually seen this, Chaos, every time you go to engage him, he actually gets moved. So it's not like you can just keep fighting him and know where Chaos is. He actually moves around out of that 9 sprite locations.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Every time you go back down, it's re-randomized. Ooh, and Chaos does have nuclear in the pool. It's time to start swinging that Mazza and hope that we can get through. That white shirt's not going to protect you from skills and...
And I don't think he has a ribbon either, so he has a high chance of a lot of these spells hitting at max. Yep, there it goes. Fire 3 hit max.
Alright, so Tyrannex decides that he's still going to go ahead and give it another try. We'll see if this is a doable run or if he's really going to need more...
I think he missed temper in 5, so yeah, I don't think he has temper at all. So he's I don't think he ever checked Melmon, which could really hurt him here, because Masa was not doing a whole lot when he was hitting him.
Yeah, it definitely looked like Chaos had a good bit of absorb and evade. I think he was only getting about 2 hits for 100 damage thereabouts, so definitely picking up temper could be a good help, and I'm not sure if he actually got fast off before his black mages died, so that could also be another thing that makes a big difference.
Ooh, 396 from Chaos there on his fighter. Like, ooh, there he goes. 337. He's gonna need to put some defense out on that fighter or get a little better armor, because Chaos was hitting hard.
So Neon Gray has now entered Topher, and we're gonna see how they do this time around. Has found that Tiamat 2 is on the left side. We'll see if this influences future dives or if Tiamat 2 ends up being a pushover. Looks like Neon's not too happy about fighting Tia 2. Gonna just go ahead and go right. Solaristrix has also entered into Topher and is now on Kraken 2. Off stream, we have our first finisher. Cheesenator HS has finished with a time of 17 minutes 54 seconds. So GG Cheese. We do have about 12 runners in this race tonight, so you've got the 4 that are on stream, and then 8 more that are off stream. So everybody is looking to get themselves some high scores and place as best they can for this initial season.
Neon Gray gets his first look at the Peekaboo Chaos. Double nukes to clear out all the Garlands with no problem. And his Black Mage gets meleeed heavily and dies in 1 hit. Unfortunate. Doesn't look like he picked up fast. Yeah, he did not pick up fast for his fighter. This is going to be tough unless Chaos has really low HP.
We'll see. Hopefully, Chaos rolled low on HP, and that will allow Neon Gray to get through, down to just the Black Mage at this. And another nuke does it. We have a whole slew of racers that just finished. Asherwell, 2nd place, 1838. Leggy Starstream, 3rd place, 1859. Neon Gray's finish time was 1909. Brax's Muse, 5th place, 1916. Solaris Strix, 1916. We have a tie for 5th place.
I had to recheck that. I was like, wait a minute, how'd they both get 5th place at same time? Impressive.
Alright, so this first one is looking to be a very quick race, so already half of our runners have Tyrannix back on the hide-and-seek chaos fight. Meanwhile, Greggly Puff is fighting Kraken 2, and quickly going to be on to the final boss.
Yeah, it looks like the Greggly Puff gave the Kraken 2 a lot of respect there. He casted like 4 white shirts to make sure that none of his characters died, so it took a little bit longer.
Alright, Tyrannix is down to just Chaos. We're going to see if we can get some of our runners in here for an interview.
Looks like Tyrannix got enough evade up where his knight is not getting hurt nearly as much, where it's 300 damage a hit, so you can't argue with, or he's doing a lot better compared to his first dive.
Yeah, great. GG.
Hey, thank you. I was expecting that to wipe, but, hey.
That was a very quick seed for our first run, as opposed to yesterday where we had much longer run.
Yeah, like, Chaos Rush should be a rush, and this certainly was. And I like how this went, because, you know, I was worried, because I'm like, oh, I don't have all of these things